Hello, beautiful humans. How did we get so far away from ourselves, our true selves? For me, I got lost in the clutter, the busyness of modern life in our society, buying into the idea of unending work, money, and consumerism. The endless opportunity for more stuff, but still not being fulfilled. I kept looking toward the outside. Food, outward appearance, a nice home, and plenty of savings. And that didn't really work for me. It didn't give me peace. And finding my peace was extremely important. So I had to involve myself in living below my means to remove stress from my life and find that peace is sometimes just being in the moment. Now, it's a rule of nature that the inward affects the outward, just like a light shines from the center of the lantern through the glass. When therefore the truth is kindled within, its brightness soon beams forth in the outward life and conversation. It is said that the food of certain worms colors the cocoons of silk which they spin. And just so the nutrient upon which our inward nature lives gives a tinge of every word and deed coming from us. To walk in the truth suggests a life of integrity, honesty, gratefulness, and simplicity. The natural product of these principles of truth are those that guide our very soul. When we live with purpose, when we slow down and take stock of what's really important to us, voluntarily letting go of what isn't, we begin to live more truthfully on our own terms. Many of you have heard the cliches, stop and smell the roses, less is more. These can actually be useful mantras on our soul's journey, but what do they really mean? When we find ourselves trying to juggle too many plates on too many sticks or have more stuff than we know what to do with, it may be the perfect time to take it down a notch. Back off from the urge to add and consume and to hold on to things that no longer serve a purpose. Strive to find more meaning, purpose, and simple joy in our lives. These ideas are at the heart of slow living. The Japanese have a word to describe slow living, ukiyo, which means to live in the moment and be detached from the bothers of life. It means to take a step back and follow a slower course in every area of our lives. When we shift from a place of want to a place of need, we see minimalism as one of the next steps, releasing life's excess in favor of what's most important. Slow living isn't a lifestyle filled with lacking. In fact, it's a way of living with abundance. It's being rich in the areas of life that really matter. Best-selling author of Eat, Pray, Love, Elizabeth Gilbert said, I would like to spend the rest of my days in a place so silent and working at a pace so slow that I would be able to hear myself living. And the way the world is set up, we're typically disconnected from living in a deeper, richer way. We've been conditioned to believe that working longer hours or harder than anyone else, or both, is the only way to get ahead. But when we're running on empty, exhausted by our demanding schedules and chasing after whatever brass ring we've set our eyes upon, it's nearly impossible to have a true connection with ourselves and others. This isn't peaceful or powerful living. It's frivolous living, and many times it leads to a feeling of emptiness, anxiety, and depression. When we live with purpose, when we slow down and take stock of what really is important to us, voluntarily letting go of what isn't, we begin to live more peaceful and truthfully on our own terms. And this change can only be accomplished through awareness. Honest, authentic self-awareness and intentional living. Fortunately, we have within us the power to identify our own truths. We just have to shift gears to get to that place. To remove the brainwashing and false narrative of busyness and increase our awareness. We can set ourselves free by doing several things. One is to remove ourselves from the rat race that we have been accustomed to. See that the way we've been moving through this world is no longer working for us, and make a commitment to living with more peace and meaning. Now, this can be a big lifestyle change. But if you're ready to embark onto slow living, you must take stock of what adjustments are needed in order to give your lifestyle the makeover it needs to produce the results you want. This can include moving out of a bustling city to a quieter environment. It can mean changing careers to a source of income that complements rather than destroys your very soul. In other words, determining what you really require to live with contentment in your heart is going to involve some personal soul searching, and it's a necessary part of the process. Embrace minimalism in all areas of our lives. A large amount of the power of slow living comes from embracing a minimalist lifestyle. This enables us to live a life of greater freedom. All the stuff we think we need can actually be keeping us stuck in jobs we hate, relationships we might otherwise not choose, and debt we may never settle. We all want more personal freedom, but we weren't taught how to live in an unfettered manner. Instead, we were told to go to college and acquire massive debt, get married and start a family and get into more debt, and find jobs that will allow us to pay off all the debt we've accumulated following society's spoken and unspoken rules, regardless of whether or not we hate or are bored to tears by this job we end up doing. When we decide to live slow and simple, when we've agreed to embrace slow living as our path through life, we decide to live on our own terms. We decide that we make the rules. We're proclaiming, I'm in charge and I'm living my way. Slow living is the antithesis of living with anxiety. It means living a life filled with awareness, creativity, and peace. True power resides in the limitless reservoir inside each of us, not from anything external. Slow living is a path that leads to a place of power. It's a place you can access with some courage and conviction. And it will lead you into a new day, a new life, and a new way of being. It will nourish your very soul. And as always, remember to be kind to yourself.